Hello everyone, as always, I'm Chaos in the Sky, and welcome back to another match in the Anime Villainous Tournament arc of 2023. Today we'll be seeing Game 2 of Round 2 between AzureHorizon448 and Slyroh. The winner of this match will be going on to the Final Four, so let's get into it. And so we begin with the dice roll, where Azure is going to win the roll, so he will be our starting player. Slyroh will be our secondary player, which means Azure gets to ban first. And it looks like he's taking his time to decide. And decide he has, indeed. Hopefully we won't have any lag issues. As you can see at the top right up here, we got a bit of a rough connection with Azure, because he lives over in Europe somewhere. I can't remember exactly where, but he's not in the States, and that always causes a bit of ping on TTS. So, we're going to see Merrick banned. There's no way my boy Slyroh knows how to play Merrick competitively. So that's going to be fun for him, I would say. And then Slyroh will be banning Cell. Does not want to see Cell. Understandable. Cell has been a bit of a popular ban, I would say. And then they're both going to select their characters for the blind pick. And we will be having... Oh, wait. Azure pulled out 2 cards? Is he randoming between 2 different characters? I guess he selected 2 characters and then randomed out of them. Very interesting. So Sly versus Azure game 1 will be a croc mirror. How have we had so many blind mirror matches? Excuse me? What has happened to allow this? Well, we're going to be seeing, this is the second round 2 game that has had a mirror match, I believe. I think. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm excited to see how this plays out. I am slightly biased, as I mentioned in the first video involving Slyroh. You know, Slyroh, good buddy of mine for like 6 or 7 years now. I've known this man too long. So I will do my best to be impartial, but you know how it be. You know how it be sometimes. Okay, had a little bit of a TTS issue there, but we're back. Slyroh is going to be taking his mulligan and redrawing his hand, and then I believe we're ready to go. Indeed, we are. The classic croc move of going straight to Yuba by Azure here. He's going to play Golden Hook for free, discard a Sandbody, and then hit Slyroh with that turn 1 Fate. He's going to get Sanji and Duplicitous Woman, so Sanji being 4 strength is annoying. On the other hand, Sanji didn't get to use any of his ally movement there on that first turn, so you know, bit of a win some, you lose some for Slyroh on that Fate. He's also going to go to Yuba. We're going to be seeing them go to Yuba a lot, because I believe optimal Crocodile play is usually just bouncing between Yuba and one of the other 2 locations. Also going to discard a Sandbody. Instead of Golden Hook, he's going to play out Hidden Blade, however, and then he's going to get Disarmed and Duplicitous, so at least Disarmed hits that Golden Hook, so it's not a complete dead Fate there, but that is rather annoying. Not getting a hero on that first pull. We're going to see Azure go over to Alubarna. We're recording this at like 9 a.m., by the way, so sorry if my commentary is a little slower than usual. My word, that is a pretty strong Baroque works. Getting 2 allies and contingency plan there. Mr. 2 is also a pretty good early ally to get. He's cheap, and he can cover all of these locations if you play him to Yuba. So, pretty good starting ally for Azure there. Slyroh's going to go over to Alubarna and play his own Baroque works, and he's going to get his own Mr. 5. Ooh, Scorpion Venom. And Desert Spada. Okay, well, he's got to take in Scorpion Venom and the other thing, Mr. 5. And then I assume we're going to see him probably discard Desert Spada and then keep Operation. He's actually going to keep Desert Spada as well, wanting that extra clash ability later in the game. And then will he just be playing Mr. 5? He will also just be playing Mr. 5 to Yuba, and that will be his turn. Back over to Azure, who is, of course, as we're going to see this a lot, jumping between Yuba and Alubarna. It's the Crocodile Classic, using his ability to draw an extra card for moving to Mr. 5's location. He's going to spin 3 to throw down Mistal 1 at Alubarna, and then hit a Fate on Slyroh. Going to get Disarmed and Nami, so could get rid of the Hidden Blade, or could get another hero out there. He is going to go for getting another hero out there. And double stacking at Rain Base? No, he's going to move Sanji to Yuba after putting Nami at Rain Base. That makes a lot of sense. Just covering up that locale. But leaving Slyroh with Hidden Blade to potentially use in the future. Slyroh is going to head over to Yuba. And what are we going to see here? Oh, Scorpion Venom being played. I believe we saw him put Scorpion Venom in his hand. Oh, no, he's actually going to go in Rage, so he's going to have to put Hidden Blade back in his hand from this, but he's going to be able to... Ooh, Vivi and Symbol of Friendship. I definitely think that Azure has been winning the Fate deck shuffle thus far. The shuffles on him have been... The Fates on him have been much more damaging than the Fates that have hit Azure. But there could be a big difference made in Slyroh hitting those stronger late-game Fates. So it's going to put Hidden Blade back in his hand, and then at the end of his turn, he gains 1 power from Enraged here. There he goes. And then we are back over to Azure, who's going to go back to Alabarna. He's low on power. He also gets to draw 1 thanks to Mr. 1 being there. He's going to have to deal with Vivi at some point because it is impossible to Operation Utopia open the Catacombs while Vivi is in play. Vivi makes it where Operation Utopia can get you 2 power at most, and you have to get 3 power from Operation Utopia to go to Catacombs. He's going to play Miss Golden Week and move Vivi to his location, so he will just be able to clash with Vivi at the end of his turn. Very shrewd play. And then, what do we see? He's spending 1 on something else. Oh, a Desert Girasole? A Desert Girasole. Or no, a Sable. He changed his mind and went for Sable instead. Probably just wanting the card out of his hand, because it's very likely that that's going to trigger and do nothing on his turn here. So yeah, that's a dead Sable, but he got it out of his hand, which can be useful. Slyroh deciding not to go to Rain Base. He's just going to let himself lose Enraged here. No, he's not. He also has Miss Golden Week and is going to move Nami over to him. Very shrewd play. This is going to let him clean up his territory and gain a little more power out of Enraged. Very strong. He's going to get his Hidden Blade back out, so he is going to get a net gain of 0. He's going to spend 1 to keep Hidden Blade out and then gain 1 from Enraged. But very fair and understandable. He's got his Hidden Blade back out and ready for use. He's gotten past Nami and whoever that other one was, Sanji. It could have been possible that we could have seen Azure get his Operation Utopia here, but luckily for Slyroh, he did not. We're going to see Chopper come out. Chopper can be gotten by just Hidden Blade. Slyroh does not need Enraged for it. That was the end of his turn. Presumably, we're going to see Slyroh go straight back to Yuba here, because it is very likely that Azure could get his Operation Utopia. Even with a Fate, he could get his Operation Utopia. No, Slyroh can't do that. I don't know if they'll catch it, but he still has Enraged. He can't do that draw. Yeah, okay, they realized. Hard to remember that your Enraged doesn't discard just because you can't clash. It discards at the end of his turn. We're going to see him get a Fate. Oh, the Duck is perfect here. Unfortunate to get Sanji at the same time. Sanji might actually be the play instead, because Crocodile doesn't have his item out or anything. He's in a bad position to deal with it. However, the Duck is going to be a double hero play, which will definitely stop any Project Utopias, because it also gets Prince Vivi out there. So yeah, unfortunate to let Sanji go, but the Duck is also a very strong Fate there to ensure that Utopia gets staved off a little bit longer. Now, what card is Slyroh going to play, if any? That is the question. He's going to discard Sable. Doesn't need that anytime soon. And then he's not going to play a card, or I don't think he did. He should discard Enraged here. I'm sure that Lark will catch that. It's hard to remember things like Enraged and Shapeshifter and when they need to be discarded. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're going to see a Mr. 3 thrown out. That is a very lucky ally for Azure to have at this moment. That's the perfect ally for this situation. He'll be able to vanquish the Duck for free now because the Duck is at 0. So Mr. 3 gets a free vanquish on him there. And he has his other vanquish here, so he might actually use Mr. 3 to kill Vivi as well, just to get her out of there. It is certainly possible. He's going to spin 2 to play another ally, or perhaps a... Perhaps could have been Scorpion Venom, but it is going to be Mr. 2. And he's going to choose not to kill Vivi, but he is set up for his Utopia. He's probably going to get his Utopia if he has it in hand. And we're going to see a Scorpion Venom from Slyroh, and then presumably he's going to clash with Chopper at the end of his turn and pay the 1 for Hidden Blade. Indeed, he is. I assume we're going to be seeing an Operation Utopia. Oh, no, wait, no, he didn't get rid of Vivi, so he can't Operation Utopia. Never mind. So, at least one more turn of Azure's, whatchamacallit, his Catacombs being locked. Zoro really hurts here. That's very unfortunate for Slyroh. That will get rid of Mr. 5. Slyroh is better set up with his items, but Azure is much better set up with his allies, and allies are much more important at the moment. Slyroh probably going to end up going to Yuba again here regardless. He needs to fate Azure, and he can also hit Zoro with the Scorpion Venom, so he could potentially Hidden Blade with him in the future. Hidden Blade clash him in the future. Going to spin 2 to throw out Mista 4. And then we're going to see a fate, Duplicitous, and Duplicitous, oh my word. Well, that sucks. That's going to be, I'm pretty sure that's just going to basically be a guaranteed, again, as long as Azure has it in hand, he can easily get Operation Utopia off here. That is very unfortunate for Slyroh. I think it's fair to say that Azure has had a much nicer Fate deck setup than Slyroh has, and that honestly, in a mirror match, that can be the entire deciding factor. That can be the deciding factor in any game, really. But especially in a mirror match like this. We're going to see the Vanquish on Vivi using Mr. 3, and then are we going to see the Operation Utopia? Does he have it? Oh, he, how did he end up with 6 cards in his hand? Well, he got the Operation Utopia, and then he Catacombs. Must have put a Hidden Blade back into his hand or something? I don't think he did, though. And then he's also going to get to play Missile Sunday here for 4. Well, that's the Catacombs unlocked for Azure. It's not looking good for Slyroh, but anything is possible. He's going to get to put that -1 on Zoro thanks to Scorpion Venom and potentially clash with him using Hidden Blade later. Now he gets to use his ability to draw a card and gain 3. What are we going to see from Slyroh here? He is definitely on the back foot. His Fate deck shuffle has been rather difficult on him. We're going to see a Miss Merry Christmas to move Zoro over so he can clash with Zoro at the end of his turn. Will he play another card and put Hidden Blade back into his hand, though? That is the question. Or will he keep the Hidden Blade cost? Will he pay the 1 for that? And it looks like he will pay the 1 for Hidden Blade and get Zoro out of there. Good play by Slyroh. Now we're going to see probably going to the Catacombs. As soon as that bad boy is open, Croc loves going there. Immediately going to hit a Fate because he wants to stop Sly from getting his own Utopia. And Vivi will definitely do it. Playing Vivi over to Rain Base, not wanting Slyroh to be able to Fate and clash with Vivi at the same time. An understandable play indeed. And then he's going to move Missile Sunday over to start making that progress. And he got the Poneglyph? He's got the Poneglyph, so he's just got to get Missile Sunday 2 more over. Slyroh is definitely going to need to get some heavy Fate pressure if he can. He's going to want to make Azure's Crocodile. The major advantage Slyroh has right now is that he is better set up for Showdown because he has his items out. So if he can just give Croc a really annoying... Not another... Man, Zoro and Luffy are still in there, as well as, like, Chopper and... Another good hero, I think. I can't remember. That is, I mean, Water Weakness is nice. That'll mess up the later game Showdown for Azure, but it has been a rough time fading for Slyroh, I would say. And that will be the end of his turn. Going over to Rain Base for Azure here, because he just wants to move Missile Sunday as much as possible. He's also going to spin 1 to get out Miss Valentine. Understandable. And that is going to be the end of his turn. Back over to Slyroh. I don't think there's any way he could get Operation Utopia this turn. But he could go to Alubarna and really set himself up. Or he could go to Rain Base to clash with Vivi. But he is going to go to Alubarna. That will let him draw a card. What is Slyroh going to do? He's definitely on the back foot. Azure getting his Catacombs open was a major boon that puts him a good step ahead of Slyroh. And Slyroh is debating pretty hard what he wants to do here. He's going to gain his 3 and spin 2 on Mista 2, who is at 2 strength since Vivi is out. He's going to throw down Miss Valentine. He's gotta trade Mr. 2 for Vivi here, though, because of Vivi's ability, I believe. Indeed, he does. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to use Mr. 2 to get rid of Vivi. So he is set up to get Utopia on his turn, but I imagine that we're going to see Azure go over to Catacombs so he can get into Showdown this turn, which means he will also be hitting Slyroh with another Fate to most likely stop that. Disarmed and Duplicitous. All right, so that's going to get rid of Scorpion Venom, which sucks, but I don't think we've seen Golden Hook from Slyroh yet, so he could potentially get it back. But more importantly, a fate without a hero. Luffy could have come up there, and that would have been disastrous for Sly. Might have even decided the game. But now, Slyroh has we're going to see a Sablé because he wants to be able to Sablé Missile Sunday now that he's going into Showdown. So, Azure is the first into Showdown. Slyroh is very on the back foot. He hasn't played Missile Sunday yet, or the Poneglyph, I just realized. But he should be able to Utopia here. I hope he has the card or he draws it right here. But he has got to get his Catacombs open. He does have Utopia, so he will get Catacombs open. So he will be able to afford Missile Sunday on his next turn. And he has his Catacombs open. That will trigger Missile Sablé, so Missile Sunday gets -1. Zoro and Nami. I imagine we're most likely going to be seeing Zoro played here to get rid of an ally and get a 4 strengther out there. The question is where. He is going to double stack them at Catacombs to get rid of Miss Valentine, since that's where the heroes now are, so cleaning up that location a little bit. And that is the end of Slyroh's turn. All right. It's going to be difficult, if even possible, for Slyroh to be able to catch up with getting Missile Sunday out and moving her the 3 requisite times. But now that he has his top fate open, he can keep some good pressure on Crocodile while moving Missile Sunday. I believe Slyroh... Didn't we see Slyroh put Contingency Plan in his hand way earlier, or was that Azure? I don't know if either of them have Contingency right now. We're going to see a Miss Merry Christmas move here to move Missile Sunday over. So now that she can be defeated by Mr. One's Vanquish action, indeed. So that'll be Missile Sunday out of there. It's just Zoro. Almost putting Missile Sunday in the Fate discard. I'm not sure there's any way, unless he gets another ally out on Zoro right now, I'm not sure there's any way that Azure can, win on his next turn for sure, but he is in a very strong position. He's going to give himself Hidden Blade, but he does still have water weakness to deal with. And then we're back over to Slyroh's turn. He's got to get Missile Sunday out and move her right now. If he might not have her in hand. There are 12 cards left in his deck. Okay, oh no, I think it's, he's playing Mr. One to defend his top fate because he knows he's got to keep this pressure. Shrewd play. Chopper and Usopp. Yeah, Chopper doesn't do much here. Usopp doesn't do a lot either. Probably just, honestly, he wants Usopp to cover actions for the most part. Playing him to Zoro is also fair. It's going to protect Zoro from any strength loss that might come up suddenly. He really just wants to stop Croc from being able to top fate. We are going to see Croc go over to Catacombs. He wants to probably clash with Usopp to get rid of water weakness this turn. He has Contingency Plan, which is very unfortunate for Slyroh. It means that Slyroh will be getting fated this turn, and the Contingency Plan will force a hero to be played over to Rain Base. He's going to get to move Miss Merry Christmas over, hit Slyroh with a Fate, and there's the first Luffy of the game. But he's actually going to play Symbol of Friendship because Luffy gets shuffled back in, and that's a guaranteed Luffy Fate next time, so very... very shrewd play by Azure. That would be the right call, I would say. And he's going to clash with Usopp. He doesn't have to pay for Hidden Blade because the water weakness makes it an instead of clashing, but he gets rid of the water weakness. We're going to see Slyroh go over to Yuba, draw a card thanks to Miss Valentine. He needs to discard hard to get to Missile Sunday, I imagine, here. We're going to see him multi-fate to get Luffy out. Good play by Slyroh, realizing that Luffy was the only one there. That'll get rid of Contingency Plan, covering back up that top fate. Very good play. Very good play indeed. Luffy at the bottom of the Fate deck was very good for Azure, though that was very rough for Slyroh. And we're going to see Slyroh immediately discard... I think he discarded one too many allies there. I don't think he needed to discard Miss Golden Week, but maybe he wanted to get her for a potential reshuffle. But he's getting rid of Symbol of Friendship immediately now. He doesn't want to deal with it whenever heroes come out. He's going to discard Sablé, and then... if he doesn't have Missile Sunday in his hand, he really needs to discard down. He's got to get Missile Sunday. If he can't play Missile Sunday in the next, turn or two, then he will not be able to catch up. He's going to ditch his Contingency Plan. Just planning to not need it and instead focus on getting more cards in hand. He's going to play his Golden Hook. Very understandable. I believe his Scorpion Venom was discarded earlier, so he could very well get Scorpion Venom back in an opportune moment. Meanwhile... Azure is going to go over to Alubarna and defeat Luffy because there's no Fate deck to shuffle into. That will shuffle the entire Fate deck with Luffy's effect. So he's hoping that Luffy doesn't get high up on that reshuffle. And we're going to see a Desert Spada to defeat Usopp. That'll cost all of his power, I believe, or most of his power. I was not keeping track of how much power he had there. He's going to have to put Hidden Blade back into his hand, it seems. But that gets him down to just Zoro, and then he plays Miss Doublefinger to win, actually. Wow, he was able to combo out that entire turn. That's insane. What an insane Crocodile play. But that will be game in Azure's favor. He wins the mirror. He got Miss All Sunday earlier, and he had a bit of a better fate setup, and he just ran away with it, played it very well at that point, and made leaps and bounds in progress that Slyroh could not keep up with. Very good first game from both players. Looking forward to seeing how game 2 goes, which we'll see in just a moment. And so now we're on to game 2. Slyroh is now our starting player, and he will be banning Cell once again, I believe. I believe Cell was his first ban. Does not want to have to deal with Cell today. And then we will see Azure banning Father. So we will not be seeing Cell or Father here. I swear, if these guys give us another mirror match, I'm going to be upset. Now, Azure gets to pick first, and then Sly gets to counter. He will be playing Laxus, as we can see here. And then Slyroh will be playing... Time will tell. He's going to be playing Crocodile again. He wants some Crocodile vengeance for earlier. So we're going to be seeing Laxus versus Crocodile. An interesting matchup indeed. Lightning and Sands. Now, if we follow Pokemon logic, Crocodile should have this on lock. But, of course, Pokemon is nonsense. So time will tell. Alright, we have everything nice and set up now. A little bit of a jump cut there for you, as we were just getting all of the territories situated and whatnot. I think Azure is debating if he wants to take his mulligan. I think he's decided to stick with the hand that he has. So the game will begin with Slyroh going first, straight to Yuba, the Crocodile Classic. Immediately hitting Laxus with a Fate, and getting Urza, a good first Fate, and just immediately covering that top Fate, wanting to really mess with Laxus' ability to fade him back. We're going to see Makarov's Resolve go up 1, really counting on my boy Lark to make sure that that Resolve counter stays as it's supposed to. And then Slyroh is going to spin 1 to get an early Hidden Blade out, and he's going to discard Sandbody. And Sandbody. He does not want Sandbody at all for this game, at least not until a reshuffle. Azure, meanwhile, is going to go over to Magnolia Streets to gain 3. What will we be seeing from him? A Dark Ecrature thrown over to Outskirts, the classic Laxus play. That's where he loves it. And another Dark Ecrature at Cardia Cathedral. Okay, very interesting. Oh, he's actually going to do it at Magnolia? He's deciding. He is going to throw it at Cardia Cathedral. Okay, very interesting. He's going to discard Thunder Legion, and that will be his turn. So back over to Slyroh. He's going to go to Alubarna to gain 3. This is the Croc game. You just see him jump between Yuba and Alubarna a lot. We're going to see a Baroque Works. He's going to get Miss Merry Christmas and Contingency Plan out of it. And then discard Sawblaze and probably put Operation Utopia back in. Indeed, he is. He wants that power gain. Power gain is very important to Croc, especially before he opens Catacombs. He's got to have a bit of a surplus if he can manage it, so that he can play out the heroes he needs to be able to get that Operation Utopia off. And then Slyroh is going to throw out Contingency Plan, which is very interesting. I'm not sure why Sly would make that play, because it's definitely just a hero's going to go there. Maybe he really just wanted to ensure that Yuba would stay unblocked. An interesting play, a bold play. We'll see if it pays off for him, Cotton. And then we're going to see Laxus throw out a Gloating to get some extra draw next turn. Back over to Slyroh. He's going to go to Yuba, keep up that Fate pressure. He now has to deal with Sanji. All right, Happy is a really good get here. So that means that now Laxus gains no resolve from defeating Urza, and Urza is also 5 strength, so she is out of range of being defeated by Dragon Force. Unless Azure can get some -1s on her. And then Slyroh is debating if there's a card that he wants to play, or any cards that he wants to discard for that matter. And he's not going to discard or play any cards, he's just going to end his turn. Now, Azure gets to draw 2 cards because there's 1 hero in his territory with Gloating, and then he has to discard 2 cards to get back down to 4 in hand. We're going to see him go back over to Magnolia Streets to gain some power. And he is going to spin 2 on Bixlow. We did see him discard a Soul Doll just a second ago, so he will be able to play that Soul Doll back out to any location, choosing to put it at Guildhall because Urza is there. And then we're going to see a battle invitation with only one ally out. That's 2 cards, and he did not get a hero off of it, so that's a dead battle invitation. Quite unfortunate. Not the end of the world for Laxus, but definitely annoying. He absolutely wanted it. There were a lot of heroes in here he could have gotten. That was quite unlucky, and it didn't even discard Fairy Law like Freed would have. Slyroh going back over to Alubarna to gain 3. He's really got to start getting some of these allies out here. It'd be great if he had Miss All Sunday out right here. He might even be debating if he wants to just play Miss All Sunday this turn to go ahead and get her in play. Not getting Miss All Sunday is what definitely messed him up a lot last game, or was part of it at least. We're going to see him play Mr. 3 to get that -1 on Sanji, so Sanji is now in range of being killed by a Hidden Blade play. And he will spend his other 2 on Miss Merry Christmas. He's going to move Sanji over so that he can move to Yuba and Fate and Clash with Sanji on this coming turn. He'll have to put Hidden Blade back in his hand to do that, but honestly, a very fair call regardless. It is a trade that he is most likely more than willing to make. Oh, we're going straight to the Fate with Azure's turn. He's going to get Water Weakness and Disarmed, so he's going to choose to get rid of the Hidden Blade rather than do the Water Weakness. That will stop the Sanji kill at Yuba, unfortunately for Slyroh, unless he can get enraged out at some point. We're going to see another battle invitation, and this time he got some heroes to choose between, either Juvia or Mystigan. And he's going to play Mystigan to Outskirts, which is very interesting to me. That means Mystigan can mess up his forms when he's moving to Outskirts. That could be rough. We're going to see Slyroh go for his Fate, even though he can't defeat Sanji this turn. He's going to get Gajiel and Lucy and Loki. Gajiel not quite as strong without Natsu already in play, so it looks like we will be seeing Lucy and Loki played by Slyroh here. Will he block up Cardia, or will he double stack Guildhall? And it looks like he's decided that right now, double stacking Guildhall is more important to him. He wants to make sure that that stays covered. Laxus is going to go back over to Magnolia Streets. Both of these characters are playing like the same style. Move to bottom Fate, move to gain 3 double play, and I find it very funny. We're going to see a Stone Gaze thrown down on Mystigan. Are we going to see Evergreen played? No, we're going to see a Soul Doll thrown over to Mystigan. Understandable. And it's back to Slyroh. Mystigan is now set up for a Lightning Body kill, which I think is probably very likely what we're going to be seeing here in a moment. Slyroh is going to head on over to Alubarna to gain 3. Debating what he wants to play here. With Sanji at -1, we could see a Miss Doublefinger Vanquish on Sanji, actually, to get rid of him. Slyroh's very heavily considering his options right now. Not sure what he wants to do. I believe in you, Slyroh. You can do this. Think out the best play, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. He's going to spend 2 to get Miss Golden Week to move Sanji over to Rain Base. Very interesting. And then that's going to be all he does. That's the end of his turn. We're going to see Laxus go over to his bottom Fate to immediately hit a Fate, and he gets Luffy here. Or Duplicitous Woman to shuffle Luffy back in. But yeah, I think playing Luffy here is a much better call. He's going to cover up that double play at Alubarna, and a 5-strength hero is going to be quite annoying for Slyroh to deal with. No, Azure actually changed his mind and decided to put Luffy over at Yuba. Interesting. And he's going to Stone Gaze Lucy and Loki, so they are now at 0 strength as well. A lot of heroes set up for the Lightning Body Clash potential. Slyroh's going to go over to Yuba. He does get to draw a card here because he has 2 allies there, and there's only 1 hero. So he does get his fancy-dancy card draw. The only question is if he has enough power to play literally anyone. He is going to Fate Croc, Juvia, and Counter Magic, so we'll probably be seeing Juvia thrown down, and she will be covering words Cardia Cathedral, and that puts Laxus at max resolve. What are we going to see from Laxus here? Maybe some Lightning Dragon Roars to get rid of these Stone Gaze people. Another Dark Ecriture so that he could potentially use it to defeat Lucy and Loki next turn. And then he's discarding Thunder Legion, it looks like. He is indeed debating what he wants his other card play to be. And he decided not to play another card. He's just going to end his turn and hoard that 5 power. Back over to Alubarna for Slyroh to gain 3. He really needs to get rid of Sanji or just get an exorbitant amount of allies out here. If he has a 3 or higher strength ally, he could play them to Sanji and do the Vanquish right now. Or if he could just get... I don't think there's any way he can get Sanji -1 this turn with Mr. 3 already out. He is going to play Miss Doublefinger. Is he going to do the Vanquish? He is indeed a 1-for-1 trade on hero and ally is normally worth Crocodile's time, especially if it opens up a location. I would say that is very well worth his time. Will he play another card, though, potentially to set up his Utopia? If he has another ally and then he has Utopia in hand... Oh, he's actually just going to play the Utopia he has to gain 2 to just really load himself up with power. Very fair and understandable. He must not have had a good ally play to go for to try and set it up. We're going to see Laxus play well-laid plans and then go for another Fate. Now that Sanji is gone, he wants to get some more heroes out. We're going to see Nami show up. And he's going to put Nami at Alubarna and then move Luffy to Rain Base. Or maybe even double stack Alubarna. No, he's going to put Nami at Yuba and then move Luffy to Rain Base. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. I'm getting a phone call that I will have to say I will answer later. Slyroh is going to go back to Yuba. He still gets to draw here if he remembers to draw here because he has 2 allies to 1 hero. But he might not remember to draw. He's going to spin 2 on Enraged. He wants to clash with Nami and then hit a Fate potentially. Another hero could actually potentially be helpful for Laxus here. So will Sly do a We Are Fairy Tail move, or will he play Gray even though there's no more resolve to increase? Gray is a pretty weak hero. Honestly, We Are Fairy Tail I don't think would be the worst decision here. Probably what Slyroh was really hoping for with only 6 cards left here is he really wanted to see Fairy Law or potentially Natsu. And he's going to move Mystigan over to Magnolia Streets. Honestly, I think that was a very shrewd play by Slyroh. I don't know optimal Laxus plays or how to fade him optimally and whatnot, but I think he made the right call there. We're also going to see him clash with Nami thanks to Enraged and gain 1 power. Laxus still going to go to Magnolia Streets regardless. Going to gain 3. Oh, the clock is being paused for some reason. I'm not sure what's being discussed. Well, they resolved whatever it was, so we're fine. This is going to be a Lightning Body clash. Yep, it's going to be a Lightning Body clash. So he's going to use Lightning Body to be able to clash with Mystigan here, as I'm sure he was planning to do at Outskirts at some point. That's going to bring his resolve down by 1, which means it's open pickings for Slyroh to fate some of that resolve back. Natsu has not come up yet, and he is guaranteed within 2 fate actions. So Laxus is going to have to deal with that very soon. Sly's going to go back to Alubarna and gain 3. He must not have the allies he needs in hand, so he's trying to Baroque Works his way to them. He's going to get Miss Valentine. Sorry, something in my throat there. And then a bunch of cards that he probably wants to discard because he wants to make sure that he can get his hands on the allies he needs. And it looks like he is just going to go full discard, get rid of all of them. That was his second Enraged gone by, and he's going to lose this Enraged at the end of his turn. But until then, Slyroh does have another play. He did just get some allies in hand. Oh, he's going to throw out his Scorpion Venom. Okay. Very understandable. He'll end his turn, and that will discard his Enraged. Either Slyroh will notice, or we'll have Lark, our judge, catch that. There he goes. He got it. Azure is really deciding where he wants to go here. I'm not sure what the clock click there was, but it's fine. Probably a question was being asked. And he's going to go to Outskirts and hit another Fate. Oh, Zoro really hurts here. Zoro is very painful here. So that'll be Miss Merry Christmas gone. The good news is that Slyroh can really start to get some mileage out of Scorpion Venom, so it was good of him to get Scorpion Venom right there when he did. And then Laxus is paying for Thunder Palace. And then he's going to use... So Thunder Palace puts a Vanquish location everywhere, so he's going to use the Vanquish with Bixlow for free on Lucy and Loki. Crazy. I think that's the first Thunder Palace play we've seen. And then he has to, at the start of his turn. I thought it was the end of his turn. At the start of his turn, he has to pay for that Thunder Palace to stay in play or let it get discarded. Slyroh's going to go over to Yuba, of course. He doesn't like what he's seeing, so he's going to get a Fate. Laxus and Fairy Law at the same time is very unfortunate. We're probably going to see Natsu here because Fairy Law could very easily be gotten rid of with Lightning Body. Although that would stop him from using Lightning Body to go to the Guild Hall, so it's a bit of a tough choice. But I do think Natsu is probably the best. He is going to play Natsu, and he's going to double cover the Guild Hall again. I don't think we're going to be seeing that Guild Hall get uncovered in this game, now that Happy Urza and Natsu are both there. I think they will likely be staying there until Showdown, if Laxus gets to Showdown. And then Slyroh will be spending 1 to throw out Miss Valentine. He wants to get that extra card draw when he goes to Alubarna on his turn. And Zoro will be getting hit with a -1. We will see the Lightning Body play to let Laxus use his top Fate and top gain 1 over at at, whatchamacallit. Gonna get Vivi and Symbol of Friendship. Symbol of Friendship is gonna be very, very annoying for Slyroh here. He is not got a good setup right now. I don't know if he paid for Thunder Palace or if Thunder Palace should be discarded, but I trust that Lark is paying attention more than me. That will be the end of Azure's turn, so we're back over to Slyroh. He's going to go to Alubarna, get that draw. He's gotten the major good thing here, even though he's having a rough time. Oh, right, Scorpion Venom on Zoro. Almost forgot that. Which that is mandatory, so Lark has to remind him of it. That's not a May. He has to use Scorpion Venom's effect. The good news for Slyroh here, even though he has to deal with Luffy and Zoro, is he's got 3 allies out, which is a good amount, and then he's almost at the bottom of his deck. So he's got to have Missile Sunday or be really close. We're going to see him throw out Mr. 5. And does he have enough for another ally? Maybe even Missile Sunday over at Luffy's location, so he could be set up for the... whatchamacallit? Oh, he's actually going to go ahead and get his Poneglyph out here. Deciding that now is a good time to get Poneglyph ready to go. He must not have had a good ally to throw out. Oh, is Well-Laid Plans being triggered? When you draw 2 or more cards? Oh, he played so many cards that he drew 2 at the end of his turn. So Laxus is going to discard up to 3 cards here. And he's going to do the full... it's up to 3, right? He did the full 3, and then he gets to add an item to his hand, which will, of course, be Thought Projection. That is exactly the card that he wanted to see there. The big thing about Thought Projection is discarding allies. Or not Thought Projection. Well-Laid Plans is to discard allies, get Thought Projection, to then use Thought Projection to play them. We're going to see Azure go over to Outskirts. He is going to pay for Thunder Palace. No, he's deciding not to pay for Thunder Palace. He paid for Thunder Palace, then he gained 1 at his location, and now he spent another 1 on Thought Projection. He's going to move Thought Projection and spend 2 to get Evergreen out. There are, I don't think Freed is in there. I think it's just Evergreen. Freed must be in his hand or in his deck. He's going to get Evergreen. That's going to let him use Bixlow to put another Soul Doll over at Cardia, and then he gets to put a -1 on somebody because there are no Stone Gazes to use. He's going to put a -1 on Urza, hoping that one day he can uncover that Top Fate. I'm just waiting for him to fate. Yeah, he's going to fate Crocodile here. Oh, little bit of ping issue here, I think, is what's happening. Or maybe he was debating the multi-fate or not. He's going to go for a full fate. Oh, the duck. The duck. That is unfortunate for Slyroh, and the duck and Vivi are going to go to Rain Base, a location that Slyroh does not want to have to move to deal with them. And Mr. 3 is already in play as well, so that is going to be a headache for Slyroh to deal with. He is still going to go to Zoro's location to draw 1. He's going to be able to get Zoro with another -1 as well, because I doubt he's going to be able to defeat Zoro, because Zoro is still at 4 strength, thanks to Symbol of Friendship. So no Hidden Blade shenanigans will let him get the kill here. I don't even think he has access to Hidden Blade. We're going to see an Operation Utopia for Slyroh to gain 2. He still has... oh, only to gain 1 because of Princess Vivi. Right. Princess Vivi is here. He's going to hit Laxus with a Fate. He's going to get Mira Jane and Levy. We're probably going to see Mira Jane played here to block some locations. Probably either double stack Cardia or double stacking Cardia with Dark Ecriture there probably wouldn't be too great of an idea. Probably wants to block up Magnolia Streets. But it looks like he is going to go for the double block on Cardia instead. No, he's deciding. Putting another one at Guildhall. I think that's a little unnecessary. I think he's tunnel visioned a little too much on that Top Fate being blocked. I'll be a little critical of my boy Slyroh here because he's my boy. We're going to see the Dark Ecriture discarded to get rid of Mira Jane immediately because she is tied for the weakest hero there. She was 4 strength along with Urza. It has to be the weakest hero that Dark Ecriture defeats. He is spending 1 to keep Thunder Palace. Is he perhaps going to do a Vanquish with Evergreen and Bixlow? No, he's deciding not to. He's deciding to lose Thunder Palace here. Gain 3 and spend 2 on Dragon Force and then a Lightning Dragon. And then a Lightning Dragon Roar, so that will defeat Urza and Happy. Which means he does not lose Resolve from that one. Happy can now be shuffled. This is actually potentially pretty good for Slyroh. He also discarded Gloating. Slyroh can now get Happy on the reshuffle, hopefully, and put it on Juvia. That would be a major boon for him, as he is in a very rough spot right now. Zoro gets another -1. I imagine we might actually see Slyroh, yeah, I was going to say move to Rain Base here. He's got 2 power. He can play an ally. He could clash with Vivi here and then get the -1 on the duck. Oh, he's actually going to do Desert Spada to get rid of Vivi and then clash with the duck. He's deciding how he wants to do it. Oh, wait, I think he's realizing with Symbol of Friendship that VV is 3, so he can't clash with VV, actually. So now Slyroh is, debating exactly what he wants to do. Yeah, now he's changing his mind. He could get VV with the -1 and then use Mr. 3 to vanquish her. Might be his best play. He can still clash with the duck, even with Symbol of Friendship. Since he can't do the Desert Spada play, he's changed his mind entirely to go to Alubarna to draw a card and gain 3. He does have to get rid of Princess Vivi somehow eventually, though. He cannot play Operation Utopia when Vivi is in play. I mean, he can play Operation Utopia, but he will not be able to unlock Catacombs. Very rough position for Slyroh right now. He's going to play Mr. 4. Is he perhaps going to trade Mr. 4 for Vivi here immediately? Oh, he's debating if he wants to get rid of Symbol of Friendship here. And I don't think Symbol of Friendship would be the best idea with, without the Catacombs unlocked yet. He really needs ally numbers. No, but he's going to do it. He's going to discard all 3 of those allies to get rid of Symbol of Friendship. I'm not sure about that one, but I'm not a great Croc player. He can clash with Zoro now when he goes to Yuba next turn. So he's definitely going to be able to clean up a lot of his territory as a result of this. Oh, he's going to Desert Spada Zoro, actually, to go ahead and get rid of him immediately. That does mean Zoro is going to come up on this reshuffle, and Zoro has got some targets. I worry that my boy Slyroh is playing on a little bit of tilt right now. We're going to see Laxus. Oh, I thought he was immediately fading. What's he doing? Oh, he's moving Evergreen? No, he's moving Thought Projection. Is Freed in the discard? He doesn't have the power to play Freed anyway. He's just moving Thought Projection because he wants to. He wants to be able to play a hero to Outskirts or Guildhall later. We're going to see a Lightning Dragon Roar on Juvia, which will trigger those 2 Soul Dolls, letting him gain 2 and draw 2. And bring Makarov's Resolve back down to 5. I just realized, because he hasn't had Freed this entire game, right now he has to play 5 heroes to be able to progress his objective. We're in for a long game. It's a good thing these players play pretty quickly. Oh, Azure is doing his fate and he's seeing if he wants to multi. And he is going to multi because he gets disarmed on Scorpion Venom. Fair and understandable. Scorpion Venom would have been very strong at Rain Base. My boy Slyroh watches these, so I don't mind telling him. I think he probably should have just gone to Rain Base that last turn and killed the duck. He would have lost Scorpion Venom to Disarmed anyway, but he could have potentially gotten the Scorpion Venom on Vivi or Luffy. I think here he definitely goes to Yuba. He could go to Rain Base, but I mean, yeah, he should go to Yuba. He's got to keep that fate pressure on Laxus. We are going to see him fate here. He's going to get Gray and Levy, 2 weaker heroes, unfortunately, but it does raise the resolve, so it's a hero that Laxus has to deal with. He's going to block up Cardia. Very understandable. It's very likely that Azure wants to go to Cardia on his turn to do the Vanquish on Natsu, but instead now he's going to go to Magnolia Streets if Cardia was even his plan in the first place. Did Slyroh? I don't think Slyroh played a card. He kept his power. We're going to see a Stone Gaze thrown out on Natsu. And then Freed is finally going to be played over to Cardia Cathedral. So we're going to see, is Natsu going to get killed by Evergreens? Yep, Natsu's going to get killed by Evergreen Stone Gaze. So Laxus has finally cleared up his board, but he does have to play a total of 5 heroes on himself right now. Oh wait, changing his mind? Changing his mind. Oh, he's doing Bixlow first to get the Soul Doll, gain 1, draw 1 off of defeating Natsu with Stone Gaze. That makes a lot of sense. So Soul Doll gets discarded, then he gains 1 and draws 1. He could even potentially draw that Soul Doll. Then we see Freed activated, and he's going to get Juvia to either Outskirts or Cardia, and he's going to put her at Cardia and discard that counter magic. He's actually going to decide to put Juvia at Outskirts instead. That's very fair. Slyroh has 2 power. Very likely, I think he's going to go to Rain Base here to get rid of Vivi. He can clash with Vivi now, since he got rid of the whatchamacallit. He's going to go to Rain Base. He's going to throw out his Golden Hook and then get back the Scorpion Venom immediately, I assume. Very good play by Slyroh. Very, very smart. So we'll get to clash with Vivi here, And ideally, get a -1 on the Duck and Luffy, which will be very strong, because then he can vanquish the Duck for free. Oh, is he debating if he wants to move Mr. 4? He didn't clash with Vivi. Slyroh, my boy, what are you doing? What do you lose by clashing with Vivi there? We're going to see Freed used to defeat Levy here. Probably going to get Thought Projectioned back immediately by moving Thought Projection. We're going to see a Stone Gaze thrown out on Juvia first, so that when Evergreen is triggered, she can kill Juvia to clean up Laxus' territory. That's going to replay Freed to the outskirts. And then, what's our order of operations? He's going to do Freed first. He's going to get Lucy and Loki, so that is a gain of 1 resolve, even though he's the one playing Lucy and Loki. I'm not sure what's being debated here. His resolve went down? His resolve should have gone up. Oh, was it the, did he not take away the resolve for killing Levy? I don't think his resolve went up for Lucy and Loki. I'm not sure what just happened there. But, I mean, Lark is judging, so I'm sure Lark knows what's up. I must have just missed something, which is entirely possible. And then he's activating Big Slow Last to get another Soul Doll out over to Lucy and Loki. Oh, and he had Dragon Force, so he's clashing with Lucy and Loki and triggering the Soul Doll. An incredibly strong and swingy turn by Laxus. That's the Laxus special, suddenly killing 4 heroes and being near showdown out of nowhere. So it's going to be -1s on all 3 of those heroes. And Slyro's going to go over to Yuba to get some more Fate pressure going. He wants to get Natsu back here. Does not want to see Happy. He gets Mystigan and Mira Jane. Not bad. 2 strong heroes. Getting them both at the same time is unfortunate. But, you know, better to get 2 strong heroes than a dead Fate. Or 2 weak heroes. He's going to play Mira over to Guildhall because she cannot be vanquished by those allies to cover up that top Fate. And then what else is Slyro going to do here? He's going to spend his 1 to put a Sablé because he wants to get Vivi and Luffy down even more on strength if Laxus decides to go and gain 3 power this turn. Which he probably does want to go to Magnolia. He's actually going to go to Outskirts and put some Fate pressure instead. He's got a good amount of power. I thought he might go to Magnolia just based off of wanting to play 2 cards. Oh, Chopper sucks. That is literally the worst possible Fate that could have happened there. I don't think my boy Slyroh has played optimally by any means, but I do think he's gotten incredibly unlucky with Fates. He really should have clashed with Vivi earlier. I'm still not sure why he didn't. I'm going to have to ask him. He might have just forgot. It happens to the best of us. And then Azure's going to go ahead and move Thought Projection even though it has no target. And he got a Stone Gaze on Mira to use her ability later. Back over to Slyroh. He's going to go to Alubarna here and gain 3 because he needs some power. Probably couldn't have done much of anything at Rain Base. Oh, he did. Azure is checking his discard. I was confused for a second what was going on. Slyroh is debating very heavily about how he wants to take his turn here. Does he have Hidden Blade? Is he debating using Hidden Blade to clash with Chopper? Or Enraged, even? Oh, he's going to throw out Mr. 2. Okay. And that, I mean, that's going to be his turn. He's got no other actions. So we're back over to Azure. Is Azure going to trigger the Sablé here? He might go to Cardia instead. He is going to go to Magnolia and trigger the Sablé. So that's going to be a -1 on all 3 of those heroes, I'm sure. No real point to put it on Chopper instead, unless Slyroh has some insane plan that I'm not seeing. So we're going to see -1 put on Vivi, Karu, and Luffy once more. Very good for Slyroh. He needs those heroes weakened up. Lightning Body, so that he can potentially go to Mira Jane next turn and use that top Fate. Oh, changing his mind. Going with Dragon Force instead, and then biding his time to discard the rest of his hand and take whatever card he wants out of his discard. That's why I was checking his discard earlier to see if the card he wanted was in there, but instead he's going to get a card from his deck instead of his discard. So it could be any card. There's no way to know. Any card that isn't clearly already in play, of course. Slyroh's going to go back over to Yuba, gain 1. He's going to hit Laxus with another Fate. Counter Magic and We Are Fairy Tail. That really sucks. That is not a good Fate. Probably just counter magic the thought projection here if I had to guess. I mean, moving Mira really doesn't do anything for him. I guess he can move Mira to Magnolia to try and save her from Dragon Force for another turn, but I mean, she'll probably just get Lightning Dragon Roared in that case. Don't counter magic the Stone Gaze, Slyroh. That does almost nothing. You'll just Dragon Force her. Slyroh, no. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Slyroh. He'll want to pay for thought projection. He would have just killed Mira with Dragon Force to ignore the counter magic, I imagine. And then, has Slyroh played a card? Is this the turn he played Mr. 2, or is that the previous turn? I was too focused on that fate. Slyroh is debating hard what he wants to do here. Oh, they realized that Chopper should have had a -1 from the Scorpion Venom. Very fair. That's mandatory. That has to be done. We're going to see Mr. 5 thrown out. So Slyroh is going to move to a location where he gets to clash with someone next turn. He's going to be clashing with someone. Who he's going to clash with, no idea, but someone's getting clashed with. We're going to see Laxus go over to Cardia Cathedral, gain 2, and spend 1 on Thunder Legion to replay an ally. He's going to do Freed first and get Black Steel Gajiel. Pretty good get for him. Then he's going to use Evergreen to defeat Mira Jane and get her out of there. Oh, changing his mind. Oh, he's going to Soul Doll with Bixlow and then use Evergreen, I imagine. Yeah. So then he gets to gain 1 and draw 1 from the Soul Doll. And he's going to use Freed to vanquish Gajiel. I think he should be at 1 less resolve. Yeah, he's at 1 resolve. All he has to do is play a hero, which he can easily do next turn because he's getting rid of counter magic. Oh, he still had his move. He's actually going to play Freed right here. I thought he had already used his move. My mistake. And he's going to get Urza. So all he has to do is defeat Urza, and he wins on his turn. Oh, he actually Dragon Forced into her and just won. That's game. Yeah, that's Laxus for you. He can do that. He can just suddenly win out of nowhere by a bunch of crazy combo plays. That's the character. But yeah, there you have it. Unfortunately, that will be a loss for Slyroh. That is a 2-0 victory for Azure, and that will be the game. So with that, Azure Horizon will be moving on to the Final Four, where he'll face either Kid Jays or Wako, depending on who wins that matchup. We've also now made it halfway through round 2, which means we just have 2 more games to go to get our Final Four competitors. Thanks for watching, and until the next match, farewell.